Hi, this is Terry Butcher. Watch me talk about the latest transfer news and speculation on Hibernian TV.
Terry, at long last it looks as if all of the hard work on the transfer front has finally come to fruition. Can you tell our viewers a bit more about the two new loan signings that have been secured today?
Yeah, we've had to do a lot of groundwork, Steve in particular, and a lot of movement from the training centre down to England and back and so forth. So a lot of phone calls, and Steve's worked really, really hard to get these deals done. And we're very pleased with what we've done so far. And there's still one or two pending, hopefully. So we maybe have some more news tomorrow. But I think it's when you look at players that have become available, all of a sudden the last week of the transfer window they're there. They're able to move on, whereas the 3 weeks before that they weren't. So sometimes it's best not to do your business early on. It's best to wait and see what happens. But if you're doing the work in the process and progressing towards getting a deal done, and that doesn't happen initially, then ultimately it can get done because teams have a change of heart. They have players coming in themselves. They're able to release players. Players want to go, and all these kind of things. So it's not until the last 3 or 4 days really when everything does hot up and things start to happen. So we're very pleased with what we've done so far. Danny Haynes is a player that we've known about for some time. He's not getting a regular game at Notts County, but still chalked up a good number of appearances this season and a few goals. But he's one that's got bags of experience, and leading the line through the middle or out wide. He's a threat with his pace and his touch, and he scores goals from everywhere. And he's one, as a player that wants another challenge and wants to sort of reignite his career. And he sees Hibernian Football Club as just that perfect opportunity. And he's been very impressed by what he's seen so far, and we've been very impressed by him. But he's a good lad, nice guy, gets on with it well, good professional, and he'll fit in very well with the squad. And Duncan Watmore looks like he's won a competition to be here. He looks so young. He's 19 years of age, and you look at him first, you think, well, that's the mascot having a warm-up, but it's not. It's Duncan. So he's just, and when you see him play, he's just an incredible guy. He lifts you off your seat because he's like, wow. He attacks fullbacks, he attacks players, even in a 50-50 pitch. He was still just going past players because he just gets them on the wrong foot, and just as he just goes past them. I don't know how he does it sometimes, but he does. But he delivers a great ball as well, and he's all energy. He really is. He's just everywhere. So he lifts you off your seat. Simple as that. Not that I'm sitting watching training, but he makes me want to jump up in the air because he's that different to what we have and that different to what we've seen. So, but they think very highly of him at Sunderland. Kevin Ball was my centre-half partner with the Black Cats many years ago, and now he's the academy manager, and he thinks a lot of him. He's recommended him to me on several occasions, and I went down to see him a couple of weeks ago too. So the day I spent in the car with Steve Marcella was a bit of an ordeal, but it was worth it in the end of the day because we got a player out of it.
Did you catch your eye then when you went down to watch Sunderland? Is it under-21s against Stoke under-21s?
He did very much. It was some game. I mean, it was like World War III. It was like a blitz everywhere. It was tackles everywhere, and it was big challenges. And the crowd, the crowd loved it because it was a throwback 20, 30 years. So, Duncan can tackle, he can get stuck in, but he's also gifted on the ball. And the first 10, 15 minutes of the match, he was everywhere. I like what I saw, and I know there's other people in the crowd from Scotland, from the Premiership. Tommy Craig was there, and Alan Johnson from Kilmarnock was there as well. So lots of people there, but we've been lucky that we've got him because other clubs definitely wanted him, and I think this is a perfect place for him to learn about football, learn playing in the first team, playing with the first team. But he's already made his debut for Sunderland anyway. But he did well at Altrincham beforehand. And he's a player that's hungry. He's 19. He's very, very bright. He's studying an economics degree at the moment, so he's a clever boy, but just wants to play football. So he's just infectious. And you look at him alongside someone like Sam Stanton, and it's just all energy. It's just legs everywhere, arms everywhere. He's just Sam's a left, and obviously left-footed, and Duncan's right-footed, but they're just two examples. They actually make you tired watching them because they just run about so much. So he fits, Duncan fits into the profile of what we want very well. So does Danny too.
As an Ipswich fan, then you must have been aware of Danny's progress, rising up through the youth ranks like you did at Portman Road, and he actually earned himself the nickname the Canary Crusher, didn't he, because of his goal-scoring record against Norwich.
That's not a bad title to have, actually. I quite like that, because I like anybody that crushes Norwich. I do like, but I didn't sign him because of that. I signed him because of he's an excellent player. So, yeah, but he played in the same youth team as Liam Craig, ironically, our captain. So, yeah, it's come full circle in many aspects. But Liam's pleased because he knows all about Danny, and Danny's got a friend and someone that he knows in the camp already. So, he'll settle in very quickly. But he's a player that can score goals. He's had some good clubs and moved about a bit. Championship football, he's scored and played, and he's done a lot in his short career. He's only 26, so he's a player that's coming into the prime of his football life. But he's a player that gives us an extra edge up front, gives us that bit of pace. And all the players, with Duncan and with Danny too, we've got players with pace which we need, and we said we wanted that, particularly in the forward areas, and that's what we've done so far.